Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. And today it's going to be a MidRank madness sent to Snipermonkey at the email address listed in the description. It's going to be Mini Titan and Psy versus Happy and Serenity here on Rhoskallian, the latter edition. Bottom right hand corner, we have Team Captain America, red Zerg player Happy. Right next door is the blue Zerg player Serenity. How do you get the banner above your portrait in the loading manual? Says Serenity. Yeah, it's in your collection. Exactly, says Psy. Top left-hand side, it is Team North. We're going to be the purple Protoss player, Psy. So helpful to the enemy team. And then, ooh, it's another Protoss player here, the teal Mini Titan. All right, so Protoss versus Zerg. This may be one of the more interesting matchups I've seen here. So MidRank Madness is just my investigation of Platinum and Diamond replays, as well as gold that are sent to Snipermonkey. Heads up, he hasn't been receiving a lot of submissions recently. So if you want to get your game cast by Falcon Paladin, now is a really good time to do it. Keep sending him to Snipermonkey. You can also join the Discord server, put the submissions into the Submit a Replay Discord channel in my server, and he'll check those too every day, I believe. So yeah, man, if you want your game cast, now's a great time to do it. Both Zerg players are going for the hatch first play, which I feel like if there's a ZZ team, it's good for one of them to go for pool first, just to keep the other team honest, honestly, and force them to kind of wall off here. Although, I mean, at this point, this is a wall off anyway, so I don't know how much of a benefit it would be to make an early 12 pool. And in fact, maybe this was the right decision after all for Happy and Serenity, which two interesting names. I assume they know each other. Like, what coincidence would it be if there was a Happy and a Serenity on the same team, but they didn't know each other? I just would find that exceptionally odd. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. Well, what are we doing is a bigger question. Everybody really just macroing up. Cybernetics Core just now coming in for Psy. Mini Titans is done. He's going for that Stargate opening. Zerg players not going for third bases yet, which I feel like they probably should based on this opening of what we're looking at from the Protoss players. They're both going not exactly one gate expand, but they're very early expands nevertheless. So if you're two-basing Zerg, you need to go for a two-base Lurker-style play, or maybe some kind of Mutalisk-style deal, or a lot of Hydralisks, Banelings, Roaches, Ravagers. If you're not taking a third base against an opponent who's going for an early expansion like this, you're just going to die. So I'd love to see him expand, except they're just not doing it. Baneling Nest coming in, but you can afford a Baneling Nest while expanding. Look at this. Happy, you've got 300 minerals. You can do it, man. Expand right here. Our third base is going to be, unfortunately, kind of far away for your teammate. Whichever guy decides to expand here first is kind of relegating his dude to, or his teammate up here. It's a weird map that way. Expansion patterns are kind of garbage. But, I don't know. It's not bad enough that I think people have it vetoed here on the ladder. Anyway. Oh, my goodness. Phoenix production here from Mini Titan. Gonna go for that anti-air shenaniganry. And there are no safety spores coming up here. You don't need them yet. Probably want to start around 330, 340 if you're really interested in defending against early oracles or something like that. Interesting. Not an oracle, but just a double Phoenix. Is Mini Titan going mass Phoenix here? That works really well in 3v3 and 4v4 if one player just goes mass Phoenix, because they can really cripple the Zerg players and just do so well at lifting and killing workers. Lifting and killing Hydralisks is fantastic. Even Marines in some situations. I mean, they're just great. Mass Phoenix is super duper annoying to deal with. In 2v2, I don't know how valid it is. So, I mean, that said, that is another Stargate for Mini Titan. And he's getting Warp Gate. I thought for sure this would be getting +1 attack. But he is getting Warp Gate, because you never ever want to skip Warp Gate as Protoss. Not even if you're going Mass Phoenix. You want the ability to warp in defensive zealots into your mineral line if you need it at a moment's notice. That is something you really can't give up. I love the Overlord placement here from the Zerg players. However, they are probably going to get killed by Phoenix here fairly soon. Yeah, man, if this is just mass... he's getting +1 air. Okay, man, this is going to be mass Phoenix. He sees the multiple Phoenix at 4.5 minutes. Still no spores in these mineral lines, by the way. These Zerg players, I don't know who they are. I hope they're at least platinum, but I'm not sure that we're quite there yet, based on the fact that there's no spores at all. I guess now, getting tossed down, both players. Tossing them down into their mineral lines. Excellent, excellent job here. Even multiple spores coming up. 4 spores coming up for each of these players right now, which is fantastic. Overlord's getting picked off. Happy is going to be supply blocked with the loss of this Overlord. Serenity is already supply blocked with the loss of his Overlord. Hydralisk's on the way. Here's the problem. If you have enough Hydras, yes, you can take down the Phoenix. But once the Phoenix reaches a certain critical mass, you're not going to be able to kill them with Hydras anymore. It's exceptionally hard to do so. It's hard to keep up Hydra production versus Phoenix production. Also, Phoenix can fly, and they could just be everywhere that your Hydralisks are not. So 2 spores, I don't know, man. It's like 2 spores and maybe a couple queens at each base. That's what I'd be going for here against this opponent who's going for Mass Phoenix. And 1v1 Mass Phoenix is not easy to deal with as a Zerg player, but it makes sense of how you want to handle it. Just a ton of Roaches and Ravagers, and you go for it, and you kill them. But in this situation where you can't just go a bunch of Roaches and Ravagers because the other player is actually building ground army and can hold this kind of a defensive position quite easily, it's really tricky. I'm not sure that Psy is really keeping up with Mini Titan here, to be entirely honest with you. Like, I'm looking at it, Psy's at 56 supply, Mini Titan's at 66. It really doesn't have much of an army at this stage. It's a 900 supply an army, which is mostly Zealots and Adepts, which aren't just, you know, not going to do super well here against a Zerg player. Although, if they're going Hydralisks and you have mass... Oh, come back, production tab. And you have Mass Adepts, that's actually kind of fantastic. Mass Adept with Resonating Glaives would be good. Ooh, getting Storm. All right, Psy's getting Storm, which makes sense a lot because it is called Psy Storm. So, watch out for that, man. These are players. Ugh, with the Hydras out and the Roaches out, Storm is kind of the answer to that one for Protoss. So, not too much happening here by way of attacks or defenses. The Phoenix have kind of been scouting around and trying to kill stuff, but what's died here today is like Overlords, man. It is, yeah, it is 4 Overlords and 2 Lings and an Observer died. That's it. That is not a very big loss total on that column there. Third base on the way from Psy. Mini Titan's third base is happily up and running down this left side. We've seen it. Oh, Void Rays out of Mini Titan. Now, I don't know about the Void Rays. Maybe he assumed one of the players would be going Corruptors, in which case the Voiders would be great. But if it is just Mass Hydra, the Void Rays are pretty much useless at that stage. Takes them forever to kill a Hydralisk, and Hydras can just chew through that armor that they have really fast. Fourth base from Serenity. Happy really just should go for a fourth too. I don't see him really thinking about doing it quite yet, which is a problem. It is Resonating Glaives and Storm coming in from Psy. Additional Stargates. This is just full-on Sky Toss right now, man. He's getting armor. He's probably going to toss down a Fleet Beacon here soon. Oh, he does have a Fleet Beacon. It's probably going to be Carriers. Is what it's going to be. Carriers better in team games than they are in 1v1s. Ooh, the Ling run by, though. Zealot's not holding the line. That's a perfect scout on the 4 Stargates. So at this stage, you recognize it's going to be nothing but Sky, man. Lings going after these probes. Mini Titan loses a ton of workers, down to 43 probes. Fewer workers than anybody in the game right now. That hurts. That little Ling run by, causing major problems. The Void Rays can't handle it very well. The Phoenix actually can't handle it very well. The Adepts a little better, but until they have Resonating Glaives, not super well. Small Roach Hydra Ball dodging Storm pretty ably right now, but there are charge lots to absorb damage, Adepts to deal damage, and then the Phoenix Ball just comes in and lifts everything and kills it anyway. That's what I'm talking about, is the Phoenix. You don't have enough Hydras, they will just lift and kill the Hydras that you do have, and you will be very sad. More Hydras in production from Happy. And really, he's been left alone so effectively here today that him not having a fourth base seems like a major problem. Also, creep spread not super important to either of these Zerg players. I mean, their bases are connected by creep. Okay, actually, no. They're not connected by creep. But, they're trying. Whoa! Serenity's going for 8 Ultralisks right now and Chitinous plating. I kind of like the Ultralisk play here. The Phoenix can't lift them. The Voiders are kind of awesome against them, which is a problem. But the Ultralisks can be faster with Anabolic Synthesis for sure. And Storm is actually not that great against Ultras either. So, kind of love this. Kind of really like this out of Serenity. Chitinous plating is going to finish. Getting Anabolic Synthesis would be a big deal. I talked about that already. A lot of Hydras out for Happy, which is going to be great against the air stuff. And, yeah, now we're getting Carriers, though. Once you get into a critical mass of Carriers as well, Hydras are bad. So, I mean, at this stage, I kind of feel like the Hydra count is probably enough to handle this. They are working together, which I really like. I love the Viper play here from Serenity, too. I gotta say, Serenity is probably a higher-ranked player. Considering he's effectively maxed out, he's on 4 bases, he's got 71 drones, which is the most workers of anybody, and his army supply is bigger, too. So the Phoenix are just here to kill as many drones as possible, knocking Serenity down to a 67 worker count. Fourth base on the way from Happy at 10 minutes, which is honestly late. Fourth base on the way from Psy, which again, fairly late. 3 bases for Mini Titan. He's just 3 base carrying it right now, which is a little bit awkward to say, honestly. But Anabolic Synthesis coming in. Excellent. Pour les Zerg. And both players are just really gearing up for one heck of an attack on both sides. At this stage, we're looking at Mini Titan and Sire at 131 and 139 supply, which is lower than both Happy and Serenity, especially combined. But even lower than Happy, who's only at 141 supply at 10 minutes, which, you know, he's doing great. He's doing all right. Ooh, free War Prism is free War Prism. But attacking into an army that definitely has Storm. All right, they're coming on in here. They're eating the Storms. The Ling's not doing super well, but getting surround on all of Psy's army and wiping it out is massive. The Hydras are pretty much just eating all the Interceptors that come out. The Void Rays are going to get smooshed by these Hydralisks, and they are, and as a result, they back on out. Are the Hydras focusing the Void Rays down? They probably should be at this stage, but no, they're going after Interceptors, which is not ideal. Nice Parasitic Bomb on the carriers. The Ultras need to go. Go anywhere that the enemy air units are not. Ooh, that Immortal does back himself into a corner, but he gets chomped on by these these Ultralisks and these Zerglings. This attack is massive. This is so many Ultralisks from Serenity. He is maxed out right now. He's continuing to pump units. The Mothership shows up at just in the nick of time, cloaks these buildings so that the Ultras can't even see them. DT's in the mix to mess with the Ultralisk pathing so they can't get out, trapping the Ultralisks and executing them. What a great play there from Mini Titan. That was beautiful. So this Nexus didn't die from Psy, which is kind of a huge deal. What is your anti-air like in the Zerg form right now? A bunch of Hydras, got some Corruptors. The Void Ray stayed alive for those Corruptors in that express purpose. Happy's fourth base is not even saturated, but it's probably going to die anyway. Hydra's coming in. Needs more. 7 more Corruptors in production here, so I kind of like that. A lot of Corruptors coming in right now. Meanwhile, the ground-based army coming in to deal with Psy's attempt at this fourth. Oh, the Lings on top of all of the High Templar. The Archons are going to die before they finish merging together. The merging will not be complete for most of these. Oh, that one is barely complete. Look at him attacking on up here. The Hydras are trying to go after this ground air army, but it's just too much. It's just too much air army is the problem. These ground forces doing much better. Much better. Nexus goes down, and the Ultras decide to back on out, recognizing they can't shoot up. Actually, hang on. Okay, they thought about walking right under that air army, and that would have been just terrible on their front. So the aggression from the Zerg players has been really nice. I like it, taking out extra bases. Mini Titan taking a fourth base in the midst of all of this. He's got 59 workers. Void Rays, pick it up. Ooh, picking up Overseers there is really good. This makes the Mothership that much better if there are a few Overseers around. Mini Titan gonna take down Serenity's fourth here. I really don't see that he has an army. And I think Serenity's just fine with base racing at this stage. They say never base race a Terran, but base racing a Skytoss army is equally kind of dumb. Just because their damage output and their ability to be anywhere they want to is unparalleled. Look at the recall. That's what I'm talking about. You recall in, the army has to get out of there, and you can't kill their base, but or they can't kill your base, but you definitely killed their base. Exactly what we're looking at. Lings on a collision course to nowhere. Oh, they're going to get a shield. Nope. They don't get a shield battery. Too much carrier, that's for sure. Yeah, this is pretty scrappy. The Corruptor count may be enough to handle smaller groups of carriers. We're not on like 15, 16 Corruptors yet, which is kind of what you want. All right, so Void Ray down, and Carrier definitely dead. There's no recall available. The Ultras do get chased away by the Void Rays and the Carriers. Production tab for Psy is basically going to be zealous at this point, and I think this Nexus is going to go down here today. Corruptors going after these Carriers. Like it. There's another Carrier down, but look at these Void Rays eat through the Corruptors. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's exactly what we're worried about here. So Psy is down to 2 bases, one of which is extremely mined out. Happy's down to 3 bases, which he's mining out on 2. I love that Serenity's taking a sneaky base in the top right to try to keep an eye, or just try to keep it away from this Void Ray Carrier army. At this stage, I kind of feel like Mass Hydra might get it done. There's so many Void Rays and so few Carriers. Again, normally I'd say Corruptors, but this prismatic alignment is so good against Corruptors. And against anything armored, to be honest, which these buildings are, which this Queen is not. Trying to come in here with a Ling Ultra army. Archon's holding the line against the encroaching foe. Can't quite do it. And Mini Titan's going to lose his third. This is a good 2v2. This is so scrappy. No one's really happy with their situation in the game right now, I don't think. They're trying to get whatever damage they can. No. Don't go in there. Wipe out this base for Mini Titan. If you shut down his income, you're going to be in a better position than actually getting up here. Although, you can stop these Stargates from making anything. Which, yeah, you're going to depower all of these Stargates. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. You still don't have anything to do with these Void Rays is the problem. There's not enough anything for the Zerg player here. There is 2 Queens right now for Happy. He's effectively done. There's 2 Corruptors for Serenity. And one of them just died right there to those Void Rays. And sure, the Lings and the Ultras are causing major problems on the other side of the map. Absolutely true, but they're allowing this income to stay for Mini Titan, which I don't know if he has a way to spend it, actually. I think all of his production was down that way, so it's gone now. But Void Rays eating up the Ultralisks on this side of the map. They're not instant about it, but they can do enough damage to be problematic. Small bits of carrier here from Mini Titan running around like a crazy person. And here we go. The Void Rays again. Not instantaneously killing these Lings and the Ultras, but doing enough. That Ultra escapes with 1 HP. Like, oh, he's gone. Yeah. Saw that happening. Man, oh, hang on. Ling's got in here to Mini Titan's base. Oh, my goodness. He's down to 8 probes. 8 probes. However, the Skytoss army is entirely unopposed on this side of the map. There's nothing that can handle these Void Rays. If you're base racing and you have units that can only attack ground, and they have air units that can attack ground units, you're probably not going to win the base race. Even if you have Lings, do you have adrenal glands for those Zerglings, sir? The answer is nobody has adrenal glands. That hurts. You're relying so much on these Zerglings to win this for you, and your Lings don't even have adrenal glands. Ooh, Flux Veins is done for these Voiders. When did that happen? You must have gotten that recently, because I don't remember them zooming around like this. Yeah, man, there's not even spores, really, that the Void Rays have to worry about. Oh, the prismatic alignment on the Void Rays at the same time as they're attacking Ultralisks is so good. This is an incredible game. I think the Protoss wins just based on the principle I outlined 10 seconds ago. Look at that Ultralisk cavern shuddering as it gets murdered by a carrier. Oh, it stopped shuddering. Was it researching something? I don't think so. We already had anabolic synthesis. Sai has a tiny bit of income right now. He's got 3 probes mining. Mini Titan has nothing mining at all. Oh, Happy did manage to take this base here, but it got scouted out. Nice job. Nice job with the map awareness here, not allowing your Zerg players to do stuff without being spotted. Yeah, top right here has been spotted. This has been spotted. This is under attack and probably going to die. This poor carrier does not have a lot of interceptors. But Happy is out. GG, and Mini Titan and Sai are your winners in 18 minutes and 34 seconds. Yeah, that's reasonable. Sorty had 18 supply. Happy had 12 total supply. So hit that like button if you enjoyed that. That was a pretty fun ZZPP 2v2 mid-rank madness, if I do say so myself. Thanks for screening those, Snipermonkey. And again, send in your replays. I know there's a lot of you out there in mid-rank madness. Send them in. And Sniper will be only too happy to look them over. He loves screening StarCraft games. Like, maybe more than anything else. Just kidding, that's not true. But he does love scanning, or screening these. I want to say streaming these. My brain is all messed up. Righto, then. In that case, let's check out the final loss numbers here. 6 carriers died, 14 Void Rays, a Mothership, and 7 Phoenix for Mini Titan. End of the day, he had 4 carriers and 10 Void Rays. I mean, that's pretty good. It's a pretty good end of game state. Way better than anybody else at the end of the game for sure. But ended up losing 84 probes. 81 probes were lost by Sai, including... Yeah, again, Sai has never had a big army. He went for the High Templar, which is great. But I don't know. He never had a big, scary Protoss army like I think you kind of have to have at this level in order to compete. 65 drones died for Serenity. 38 died for Happy, which means Happy only made 48 drones in the whole game, which is not ideal. If you're going to be on 3 or 4 bases, you're going to want to have at least 50, 60 workers, which, again, his 4th base was late and was never saturated, so I guess that might partially explain it. Serenity lost all 17 of his Ultras, 13 of his Corruptors, 65 of his drones, and he had 13 left over, which is a great number, and 300 Zerglings. So, good job. I mean, what it came down to, again, though, is if you go Ling Ultra versus Skytoss, it's going to be hard to win. Like, it was close. There really wasn't a lot left for Protoss, for sure, but there was even less left by way of actual army from the Zerg to take it down. So, close match. I enjoyed it a lot. Hope you did, too. Because that's going to be it from me. So, this has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and a Mid-Rank Madness. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.
Ascensions before us. Our honor guides us. Me with you, you with me. We are as one. Justice. Our duty is unending. I feel your presence. We are as one. Sense of soul, a soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala Adu. Ascension is before us. Our honor guides us. Me with you, you with me. We are as one. I sense a soul, a soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala Adu. search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Shaladu. I sense a soul. The soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Shaladu. Kalarulas. Paramulas. Akhlaranas. Naslaran. Kinalatu. Casar di Templare. Garamanaka. Oshara Sashina.